Hello and welcome to the Yoga NoHo Center in North Hollywood. I'm Sushanna Jordan and we're going to be doing a hot hatha yoga class today. So please join me. We'll start sitting, perhaps grabbing onto a blanket if we have one to sit on. We'll find our sit bones and we'll bring our hands to our knees to begin. Maybe in Gyan Mudra, first finger and thumb together. We can bring our palms down or up. And here we'll get into our spine, into our breath. So grounding down through the sit bones. We'll inhale up, lengthening up through the crown of the head, through the heart. There's a silver cord guiding us up into the clouds. Let's roll the shoulders back onto the back and allow our heart space to open. We'll get into our breath of fire. We'll start with some pranayama breath work. So with our breath of fire, it starts with the belly. So we're just pumping, quick exhale through the nose. We can start slow. And as we get used to it, maybe going a little bit faster. So short bursts of exhaling through the nose. Send the energy up to the third eye. Strong breath. Clearing out all the old energy and starting to invite new energy in. About 30 more seconds. Keep sending the energy up, up, up. And slowly bringing our breath back to a normal pace. We'll take a deep breath in, exhaling out the mouth. Do that 2 more times. Let's let the shoulders climb up to the ears now. Inhale the shoulders up. And then just let the shoulders drop down as you exhale. 2 more times, lifting the shoulders up. And just letting go of all that tension in the neck and shoulders. Beautiful. Let's start by bringing the hands up overhead. Big stretch up. We'll gather all of our energy and we'll bring it back into this moment, back to the heart. So bowing down and taking a moment to set an intention for our practice. We'll draw our energy in and ask our bodies, what do we need today? Inviting in more love, more light, more breath. Whatever we need, we'll make space now. We'll set our energy for our practice. Inviting in more peace, more gratitude. And we'll keep that intention, we'll keep that breath with us. As we begin to move, we'll come onto all fours. If we need a blanket for our knees, we can grab onto that blanket. We'll spread the hands nice and wide when we get there, bringing the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll get into our cows. So on the inhales, dropping the chest, arching the back. On the exhales, we're rounding, drawing the navel up. So we can go as fast or as slow as we'd like. We're tuning in with our own energy, our own spine right now. Engaging the hands, straightening the arms. One more round of breath. On the inhales, really broaden the collarbones wide. Open the heart. Exhale to round. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine. Into our core work, we'll extend our right arm and left leg out, opposites. So reaching our right arm forward, extending our left leg back. Beautiful. Flexing through that back foot, reaching through our front arm. We'll round 3 times, elbow to knee. Crunch it in. From the core, reaching out. From the core, drawing in. One more time. Using the breath, extending out one more time. This time we're coming into a back bend, so reaching around to that back foot, perhaps grabbing on. If we do, kicking that leg back, shining the heart forward. And nice and slow, we'll float it down, back all fours, and we'll come on over to the other side. Left arm, right leg. Beautiful. So take our time, pull that core in, and then from the core, we're drawing elbow to knee. Crunch it. 3 times. From the inhales, we're extending. From the exhales, we're closing, drawing in. Beautiful, guys. And then on that last round, reaching out and maybe finding that back bend, reaching around, grabbing onto that foot, opening the heart. Shining forward. And then float it on down, back to all fours, tabletop. We'll tuck the toes and lift the knees up a couple inches off the mat. And then we'll lift the sit bones all the way up and back. We'll come into downward dog, exhale. So perhaps pedaling our feet here, straightening one leg and then the other, pressing down through one heel and then the other. We'll shift forward into some planks. Back into our downward dog. On the inhale, we'll start to shift forward, bringing our sternum bone forward. Exhale, back to downward dog. We'll do that 2 more times. On the inhale, shifting forward, spreading the hands, firming the thighs, sternum bone forward, feeling ourselves nice and strong. And then up and back, downward dog. 1 more time into that plank. This time, lowering down nice and slow. Bend the elbows back along the sides. We're coming into a cobra on the inhale, opening the heart forward, pulling the collarbones open, shoulder blades back. Exhale, release. And tucking the toes all the way up and back. Downward dog, exhale. Nice. Let's do that 1 more time. We're gonna shift forward into a plank, inhale. Lower down really slow, exhale, chaturanga, all the way down to the floor. Now maybe finding that up dog, untucking the toes, pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands, maybe all the way up, lifting the legs up off the mat, up dog. And then releasing on the exhale, downward dog. Ha. Right leg reaches up, inhale. Let's crunch it 5 times to the chin. Inhale to lift, exhale to crunch. Take your time. Really holding on the crunch. 2 more times. Beautiful, guys. 1 more. On this last one, let's step it forward. We'll come into a high lunge. So stepping that foot to that right thumb, coming up nice and high into a high lunge. Sinking that front hip, firming the back thigh. Let's bring our hands to hips, bend the back knee, draw the tailbone long, re-straighten the back leg, hands to heart. We'll start to twist, so twisting that heart now towards the right, towards that front leg. We'll hook that left elbow on that right knee, twisting, sinking that front hip, and then twisting towards the mat, dropping down, planting the hands. We'll step it back through a flow, or maybe straight to dog, exhale. Chaturanga or dog, inhale cobra or up dog, exhale back, downward dog. And we'll do that on the other side. So left leg on the inhale, reaches up. Keep that breath with you as you exhale, crunch it in 5 times. Beautiful, nice. Bonus here, finding that inner thigh, spin that inner thigh up to the ceiling, pinky toe down towards the floor. That's a bonus. So 5 times, crunching to the chin. And on that 5th time, we're stepping all the way through to a high lunge. Take your time. Didn't warm up for this release. Bend that back knee, come on up. Bend that back knee, draw the tailbone down, stacking the shoulders over the hips, re-straighten the back leg, we'll bring the hands to heart. Turning now towards the left, we're finding that hook, right elbow to that left knee, Maybe dropping the back knee, that's an option here. One more deep breath. Use the exhale to twist a little bit more. And then releasing the hands to the mat. We can go through a flow or not. So maybe adding a little extra heat or maybe straight to dog. Listen to the body, listen to the breath. You can trust yourself. We'll meet there in dog. We'll take a look up to our hands. And then exhale, walking, stepping forward to that forward fold at the front of the mat. Feet hips width. Let's take a moment here, grabbing onto the elbows. Let the spine extend long, bend the knees nice and deep, shift side to side. Let's actually pedal our feet here. So if you want to release the elbows, maybe bending one leg and then the other. We'll pedal our feet and just really focus on our hips for a moment after those high lunges. All right, let's go and release our elbows. We'll come into our halfway lifts. On the inhale, flat back. Hands can come to knees or shins. Extend forward. Exhale to release. Bend the knees. And we'll do that 2 more times. Flat back from the core. Extend long. Beautiful. Exhale to release. So halfway lift. Inhale, extend. This time, let's bring our hands to hips. We'll come all the way up to stand for our mountain pose. Let's bring those big toe mounds together. Find all 4 corners of the feet. The front 2 corners, the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, the back 2 corners of the heels. Firming the thighs, drawing the tailbone to the heels. Let's turn the palms out now. We'll open our heart, shoulder blades in. We'll reach up on the inhale, looking up. Exhale, dive down, coming into our flow, bend the knees. Halfway lift on the inhale, flat back. Exhale, bending, planting the hands, we'll step it back through a flow. Exhale, chaturanga. Feel free to drop the knees to protect the low back, to engage the core. Cobra up dog on the inhale, downward dog, exhale. Beautiful, guys. And then right leg reaches up, 3-legged dog. We're stepping through to that high lunge. Come on up. Sinking the front hip. Let's bring the hands to heart. And we'll start to open up our heart. So we'll open like we're going to give someone a big hug. And then we're reaching forward like we're going to hug somebody. 2 more times. Reaching, opening back. Exhale, reaching forward. Giving someone a big hug. 1 more deep breath, opening. Exhale, closing. Great. Let's come on up, high lunge 1 more time. And then exhale through the heart to the mat, through a flow, or straight to dog. Follow the breath. Exhale, inhale to open. Exhale, we'll meet in dog. For the other side, when we're ready, left leg on the inhale reaches. We're stepping through to that high lunge on the other side. And we're taking our time, feeling the core engage, drawing the tailbone long, and firming that back thigh like our mountain pose. And then hands to heart. We're gonna come into that hug. Opening and closing. Exhale. 2 more times on that open. Shining, exhale, closing. So stretching our hips and our upper body 1 more time. Opening, exhale, closing. And then coming back to center 1 more. Hitting that pose through the heart, through a flow. Exhale. So our breath is our guide. Our body is our teacher, so listening to our body. And then looking up to our hands, walking or hopping, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, extend long, core in, exhale, bend. Rooting to rise all the way up. Back home to the heart. Let's get into our sun salutation B. On the inhale, sitting back in that chair. Let's just take a moment in our chair, drawing the tailbone long, finding our core, and we'll just do a couple pulses in the chair, inviting that energy up through the body, inviting that heat in. And then exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, planting the hands, Going through a flow, stepping back or hopping into that chaturanga. Just make sure you're bending those elbows as you're hopping back. Cobra up dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then right leg reaches up. Coming to that warrior one, step it through to that right thumb. Seal that back heel down. Firm the back thigh, sink in the front hip. Reach the arms up. And open. Open the heart. That's right. Keep reaching. And let's really open the heart. We'll do our cactus arms, softening all the way down to the mat. We'll go through a flow. You want to keep that right leg lifted in our flow. Let's add a little extra heat. That's fun. It's an option. And we'll meet in dog. Exhale. For the other side, when we're ready, left leg. Use that breath, exhale, step it through, firm the back thigh, spin that back heel down. That's our anchor. Really pressing in that back edge of the back foot, squaring the hips forward, sinking down, finding that perfect pose and just opening, just allowing here. That's right. And nice, using those cactus arms, exhaling open, all the way down, through a flow. Or no, maybe keeping that leg lifted, just add a little extra heat. For fun. It's all for fun. Meet in dog. And let's do 3 breaths. Just a quick break. Finding our outer arms hugging in. So find the triceps, hug them towards each other. Let the shoulders come away from the ears. Looking up to our hands. If you want to walk it or hop it, exhale. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale. To bend, forward fold. And then we're sitting back in that chair on the inhale. Exhale, mountain pose. Firm the thighs, ground down. Let's do that 2 more times. On the inhale, sitting back. Sun salutation B. Exhale, fold forward over bent legs. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, bending, planting the hands. Stepping or floating to that chaturanga. Just keep the heart open as you inhale. Downward dog, beautiful. And then when you're ready for that right leg, stepping through or coming up, spinning that back heel down, we'll do 2 breaths. Warrior 1, sinking that front hip. Now find your rib cage, hug it in, 1 more deep breath. Maybe lifting up a little bit higher, maybe touching the palms, through the heart, to the floor. Follow the breath. And that flow is optional, maybe straight to dog. We'll meet there, and when we're ready for the left side will come through. To that left thumb, stealing that back heel down, coming on up, 2 breaths. Using the exhales to ground, using the inhales to lengthen. Then maybe going through the heart before meeting the hands on the mat. Feel the earth supporting you. Allow yourself to be supported. Downward dog. Looking up to our hands, inhale. Maybe walking or hopping to the front, exhale. Halfway lift. Follow the breath, exhale. Sitting back in that chair, inhale. Hands to heart, namaste, firming the thighs, mountain pose. Once more, sun salutation V. Sitting back, on that inhale, exhale, fold forward, over bent legs. Halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands. Nice, going through that flow. Beautiful, guys. Downward dog. Warrior 1, right side, that's right, stepping through. Let's do 1 breath, so just 1 breath here, reaching through the heart, exhale, to the mat. To our flow. Oh yeah. Just careful on those shoulders, keep the heart open. When we're ready for the other side, we'll flow it out, left side. Just 1 breath, lift it up. Open the heart. Shine, exhale, beautiful. So our breath is our guide. We'll meet in downward dog, 3 breaths. So if you want to pedal our feet here, feel free to go to child's pose if we need. Feeling that space in the body, feeling that space within. And then looking up to our hands, inhale. Walking or hopping, exhale, forward folds. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, bending, sitting back in that chair, inhale. And back home to the center, mountain pose. So feeling our center here. Let's get into one more wide flow. So we'll come at the front of our mat, recentering, resetting that intention. Feeling the breath, feeling the heart beating, coming into this moment. And following the breath on the inhale, rooting to rise, let's reach up. Upward hands, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, dive down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, planting the hands. Let's go through a flow. Step it back. Chaturanga, Cobra, up dog. Firm the thighs. Downward dog. Right leg reaches up. This time we're stepping in between the hands, nice and wide, warrior two. So take your time, set it up nice and wide. Back heel is parallel with the back edge of the mat. And our heart's lifting us up here. So extending those arms long, gazing over the front fingertips, beautiful. Now find your back thigh and firm it to the bone. Dig into that back edge, that's right. Maybe sinking that front hip a little bit more, lengthening the inner thigh. 3 more breaths here. Now find your pelvis. Can you bring the bowl of the pelvis up just a little bit? One more breath with ease, with grace. And then we'll add in a little flow. So on the inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. We'll reach up. Exhale, sinking down. 2 more times, lifting. Feels so good. Exhale, sinking. Gathering all that energy up. And letting it go. Beautiful. Let's go and cartwheel down. We'll go through a flow. Hands to mat. Maybe downward dog or child's pose if we need. It's always available to us. We'll meet there in downward dog. For the other side, when we're ready, left leg reaches up. Steps in between the hands, and we're stepping wide. This is an external rotation. So we're opening the legs out to the left, reaching through the fingertips, relaxing the shoulders, and just finding ease and grace. Let the heart lift you up. That's right. Now find that back edge of the back foot, dig it down, firm that back thigh to the bone, think mountain pose. Now can you draw that inner thigh and the front leg just a little bit longer, sinking even deeper. 3 more breaths. Finding ease. Can you sink a little bit lower? You can trust the ground to hold you. Can you pull that front of the pelvis just a little bit up? And then reach up, inhale. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale, reaching up. One more time, sinking down. Beautiful. One more time, reach up. And then warrior two. Let's spin it down. We'll go through our flow. Feeling that heat, feeling that heart open. We'll meet in dog. Three breaths. We'll do one more standing flow. Right leg reaches up. We're coming back into that warrior two. Step in between the hands, nice and wide. Just one more warrior two. And then reaching forward, we'll reverse. Exhale, humble warrior. And then coming all the way down, we'll bring that forearm to the knee. Or perhaps we'll drop that hand on the inside of the leg. Wherever we're at, we're twisting our heart to the sky, extended side angle. Turning the heart up. Maybe now top arm, palm down. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Press in that back edge of the back foot. Rotate the heart to the sky. You guys look great. 1 more deep breath. Use that exhale to open, to release. Lovely. And then come on up. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse. And through a flow. All the way down, hands to mat. Maybe straight to dog. Don't have to do everything. And then, meeting in dog, we'll come on over to the other side, left leg. 1 more time, warrior 2. Step in between the hands, nice and wide. Open up to the left. Sinking that front hip, firming that back thigh, finding that perfect pose with grace, with ease. And then humble warrior, inhale, extend. Exhale, reverse. Woo. And then finding that forearm on the knee, maybe dropping on the inside or the outside of that leg, twisting heart up the sky. Then top arm, palm down. Maybe sinking a bit lower in that front hip, maybe firming that thigh a little bit more. Can you twist your heart to the sky? 1 more breath. Lengthening on the inhale, using that exhale, opening to the sky, softening. Inhale, through warrior 2. Exhale to reverse. Cartwheel down. Through a flow. Maybe straight to dog or child's pose. Child's pose is level 4. So 3 breaths. Here in downward dog or child's pose. Feeling the space that we created for ourselves, within our bodies, within our minds, within our hearts. Taking a look up to our hands. Walking or hopping, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale, extending long. Shining, exhale, bending. Rooting to rise, let's come on up. To the heart, namaste. Mountain pose. We'll get into our balancing poses here. So resetting our foundation. Let's bring our feet together. And we'll start with our right leg. Extending out. Bending that standing leg, we're picking up and over, coming into Gardasana pose. So we can keep our toe tapped, dangled, or maybe even wrapped. Right arm comes underneath. So we're hooking those elbows together, either back of hands or palms together, whatever is available to us. Sitting back and down in our Gardasana. So find your focus, find your drishti on a single pointed focus. Focusing on that standing leg, we're squaring our hips. So squeeze the legs together, pull back on that left hip crease. 1 more deep breath here. Can you sink a little bit lower? Unwinding, we'll start to press up. Unwinding, unbinding. We'll go and just release and switch it over to the other side. We can shake it out in between. When we're ready for that left leg to come out, we're bending that right leg, turning it out, picking it up and over, crossing. So we can keep that toe tacked, dangled, or wrapped. Arm comes underneath. Back of palms, palms together. Take your time, sitting back and down, squeezing the legs together, pulling back on that right hip crease. And breathing. So just coming right up to our edge and just noticing, just watching what's there. With grace. With compassion, can we soften our heart? 1 more deep breath there. Maybe going down a little bit lower. And then unwinding, unbinding. We'll come back to center. Woo, shake it out. All right, 1 more balancing pose. We'll come into our warrior 3. Hands to heart. It will guide us, letting our right leg come back. Dropping our heart down. Warrior 3. So we're flexing that back foot, squaring the hips towards the floor. Maybe we'll find our airplane mode, reaching our arms out to the sides. Finding that final pose, perhaps reaching the arms forward. 2 breaths. Pressing to the back heel, reaching through the fingertips. 1 more big breath. Can you find those opposing energies? Pressing forward, reaching back. Exhale, hands to mat, standing splits. So fun. So maybe we're staying here. Or if you want to do a couple kicks to the sky, we can practice our handstands. Just playing. Lifting that right leg up a few times, maybe lifting that left foot up off the mat, or not. Just challenging ourselves. Having a little playtime, a little fun time. When we're ready, we'll come into a forward fold. So we'll drop both the feet hips width. We'll find our peace fingers and bring them to the big toes. So we'll grab onto those big toes, elbows out to the side, bend the knees nice and deep. So bring those chest to the knees, elbows out to the side. We can shake out our neck here too. We'll just take a few breaths. Woo, letting all that work go. Bend those knees even deeper. About 2 or 3 more deep breaths. Nice job, guys. Pulling those elbows out to the side. That gives us more space in the hips. 1 more deep breath. Exhale to go a little bit deeper. That's right. And then releasing the toes, we'll come into a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Bending, we'll root to rise. Let's come on up. For the other side, exhale to the heart. Woo, resetting. For that warrior 3 on the other side, left leg. On the inhale, starts to come back. Dropping the heart. When we're ready. Nice, take your time. So we're trying to square those hips towards the floor. We're pressing to the back heel. Maybe we'll find that airplane mode, hands out to the side. Flying to the sky. Perhaps finding that final pose now. 2 breaths, reaching the hands forward. Challenging ourselves. 1 more deep breath. Reaching forward, pressing back. And then hands come to mat. Standing splits, left leg up. If you want to practice our handstands here, here's our chance. Maybe kicking that leg up a few times, maybe lifting that right foot up off the mat, or not. Just play, just fun. Experimenting with weight on our hands. And then when we're ready, bringing our feet hips width, we'll come in back into that forward fold. This time we're stepping onto our hands. So palms come to soles of feet. We're stepping on. And same work, pulling those elbows out, bending those knees as deep as we can bend them to our chest. Yeah, it's okay, we can bend those knees. And then we're pulling those elbows out. We're finding more space in our hips and low back. We're saying, thank you, hands, thank you, feet. This is really great for our wrists, massaging all of our organs. So maybe just feeling gratitude here for our body, for taking care of us, for taking this time to take care of us, is saying thank you to ourselves for making this space. 1 more deep breath. Maybe pulling the elbows out a little bit more, finding some more space there. And then we're ready, releasing our feet. We'll come into a halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Exhale, bending. We're coming into a frog squat. Let's come all the way down. If we need to come onto our toes, that's totally cool. Maybe grabbing onto a blanket for our heels, grabbing a block to sit on if we need to, or if it's available to us, we can come all the way down to our heels. Hands to heart, elbows to knees, long spine. So we can start to activate our legs, hugging the elbows into the knees, knees into elbows. And just taking a moment here to let our heart shine, let our hips open. And if you'd like to practice your crow pose, do it. Go for it. So we'll bring our hands forward. We'll bring our knees to the top of the arms, bending our elbows back. We can start to shift forward, maybe picking up one foot and just experimenting there. Maybe the other foot. If you want to come into that full balance, picking up both the feet and coming into that balance. When we're ready, we can come on down and we'll come to sit. Take your time. We'll straighten out the legs and we'll shake them out. Thank you, legs. Just give them a little break here. It's nice to tap them out, give them a little massage. Just taking that moment, coming down from all of that standing work. And we'll come into our boat pose, finding our sit bones, tall spine. So we'll pick up one foot. We'll see how's it doing today. Feel the core drawing in. Other side. How's it doing? And then from the core, picking up both those legs. So you can keep the hands behind the knees so we can keep that long spine, or if you're feeling really stable, if you have a lot of energy we need to release, we'll let go, or maybe even extend those legs if you want even more challenge. We'll hold. So we're feeling the low back here, maybe dropping the toes. We'll hold for 5, 6 more breaths. Keep drawing the heart up, keep shining. And keep hugging the midline so the knees are slightly drawing in towards each other. That will engage the inner thighs, the hips. Just build our foundation. This is really great for building our inversions and chaturangas. Pretty much great for everything. One more deep breath here. Maybe lifting a little bit taller. You guys are doing great. Nice. Let's come on down. Woo! Okay. Let's come on to our backs for a moment. If you guys want to have a little fun, bringing the knees to chest, and you can do a couple rolls on the spine. That feels good. We'll just meet on our backs with our knees to our chest. And we'll just recoup that low back for a moment. So once we arrive, maybe creating a couple of circles with the knees, and just taking a moment there with our foundation, with gratitude. Thank you, low back. Thank you, spine, for carrying me. If we haven't already, maybe switching up those circles the other way. Nice, stretching our inner thighs. And then we'll bring the feet to floor, knees to sky for our bridges. Hands by the side. You can grab onto the sides of the mat or keep them by the side. We'll do a couple bridges, just lifting and releasing. So on the inhale, we'll start to lift, lifting our hips up to the sky, pressing into our hands, chest to chin, chin to chest. Exhale to release. So we'll work on our inner thighs. Knees are slightly drawn in as we lift. Inhale. Exhale, release. Let's add in a neck stretch here. So on the next time we lift, we'll bring our right hand up overhead. We'll look over to the left. So inhale, lift. While bringing that right hand up and looking, stretching the neck. Exhale down. And then we're ready for the other side. Inhale. We'll lift up the other side, left hand, looking right. Let's do that one more time each side. On the inhale, stretching the neck nice and slow. It's a therapeutic move here, but we're also building the back of the legs, hamstrings, glutes. One more time on the other side, releasing our neck and coming back down. So we'll stay here for a moment, contemplating our final back bend. If you want to come into our final bridge or a full bridge, let you guys decide. So perhaps one more time in this half bridge, pressing up on the inhale, rolling the shoulder blades underneath you, finding the bind behind the tailbone, or bringing the palms by our hands and finding that final bridge. So you have two options here. Finding that bind behind the tailbone or pressing up into that full bridge. When we're ready, we'll gently come on down and bring our knees to chest once our spine is neutral. And let's just take a moment here to recoup our low back once more. So we'll bring the feet to floor, and we'll bring the feet to either side of our mat, kind of wide, so we can let our knees drop in towards each other. And we'll feel our tailbone growing long. We'll just take a few deep breaths into that low back space. With gratitude, saying thank you back, thank you body, you're amazing. So coming into a bit of core work, we'll start to bring, actually let's do a couple of windshield wipers with the legs while we're here. We'll just let the knees over to one side and the other. Finishing up, just massaging the hips and low back there. Feels so good. For all that work. Right. So coming back to center, we'll bring the feet in line with the hips. So we'll bring them back in line. Right ankle will come to the left knee, and we'll grab behind that left leg. We'll just do a quick hip stretch, going deeper there. So picking up, holding that left leg in with love. Maybe flexing that top foot, pressing that top knee away from the body. And we're trying to square hips here, so maybe finding evenness in the hips here. If you want to do some circles with the knees, creating a little massage in the hips, that's an option. And so now we're letting that work that we just did start to open ourselves, start to open our body. We'll bring that left foot back to the floor, but we'll keep our right foot on top, and we'll do a couple crunches here. So we'll bring the hands behind the head. We're crunching across opposite left elbow to that right knee. And I love this one. We'll do about 10 to 12 of those crunching across on the exhale. So opposites, we're bringing that right elbow to the left knee. Left elbow to the right knee. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. So right elbow to left knee, about 10 times. There we go. So try and keep that knee, you're gonna place your foot on the floor. Yeah, there we go. We'll keep that knee pressing away from us as we're crunching up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. 2 or 3 more. Nice and slow, beautiful. Last one, maybe hold for a moment. And then we'll start to uncross our legs, straighten them out on the floor, shake them out. Just kind of resetting that hip work. And then we'll come on over to the other side when we're ready. So right ankle, left leg. Got switched up there for a moment. Hugging behind that right leg. Bring it in like an old friend. Let that right knee press away, flexing that top foot. That's right. If you want to add in those circles, adding a little massage, going one way, and the other. And just having a little conversation with our hips. How's it going? Maybe noticing the difference, if there's a difference between the two sides. Exploring ourselves. When we're ready for that crunch, we'll place the right foot on the floor, hands behind the head, and then just the left elbow crunching across. I'm sorry, right elbow to that left knee. Yeah. Right elbow, left knee. Yeah. So just one side. Left elbow, right knee. Nice and slow. Just on this side. Yeah. Got it. Beautiful. Holding that crunch and maybe letting that knee drop away. So we're eliminating the hip from working and really focusing on that lower core. Usually the hip likes to take over there. That's why I like this one so much. Really great for our twists and our balance poses. And then when we're done, let's go ahead and uncross the legs. We'll straighten them out on the floor and we'll just shake them out. Reset. All right. So we'll get into a little bit more core work, drawing the knees into chest. So giving ourselves a big squeeze. We'll reach out. So reaching the arms and legs out on the floor, and then we're going to sweep around and grab on to the legs. So reaching the arms and legs out. Inhale, reach. Just going to straighten the legs out as you reach. Exhale, sweeping around, draw the knees in. Yeah. So it's like we're diving into a pool. Inhale, lift arms and legs out straight. Yeah, there we go. Exhale, sweep around. Wish I could show you guys on the floor. Sorry about that. Reaching. Yeah, there we go. Now we got it sweeping. Beautiful, guys. Got a nice pace. Maybe about 5 or 6 more here. This is actually really relaxing, but it's really great for the core. I like to imagine like I'm diving into a cool pool of water. Nice. Inhale to reach, exhale to crunch. 2 more times. One more time. Nice. Okay. So we'll bring the feet to floor. We'll cross that right foot on top, and we'll find our eagle pose on the ground. So right leg crossed over. We'll bring our right arm underneath, and we'll draw our knees and our elbows together. So yeah, right leg on top, right arm underneath, drawing together. On the inhale, we're extending elbows away from knees, and exhale, crunching. So it's like a Gardasana crunch. But make sure you find your core here. So draw that navel down, keep hugging the belly button to the floor. As you're extending, exhale to crunch. Lots going on here. This is really great for the hips, low back, core. Feels so good. Opening up the body, wringing it out, maybe 3 or 4 more, or not. You don't have to do everything. It's all an option, it's all a choice. So 2 more. Nice. Maybe 1 more. Squeeze in. Okay, then we'll unwind, unbind, reset for the other side when we're ready. Feet to floor, left leg crosses over, left arm comes underneath, and we'll do that. Same thing. Elbows to knees, crunching in. Inhale to extend, but keep that core hugging tightly in towards the floor. This is really nice, so we have that floor we can use to ground. You guys are looking great. Feels good, right? Ooh, yeah. Maybe 2 or 3 more, or not. Let's do 1 more, last one. Okay, unwinding, unbinding. Let's bring the knees to chest. And we'll find the sweetest, easiest way to come to sit. So either rocking head to tail or side to side. Find the easiest way to come to sit so we can do our forward folds. If we have a blanket handy, we'll grab onto a blanket. No worries if not. Wherever we're at, finding those sit bones, we'll start there. That's our foundation. Straighten the legs straight, hands by the hips, rolling the shoulder blades onto the back. So bending those elbows back, energy up through the heart, through the crown of the head. We'll start to engage the legs. So we're flexing the legs down, flexing the feet back. Just taking a moment here to feel that strong posture. It looks like we're just sitting here, but a lot is going on. Keep rooting down, keep drawing up. Keep the thighs firm and active. And open the heart. A little bit more. Maybe reaching the heart forward. We'll reach up, inhale. Arms overhead. Exhale, extend long. Maybe not going down as low as we're used to, so we're keeping that long spine that we just worked on. Wherever our hands land, we'll just let our elbows pull out to the side as we exhale, and we'll do a few breaths. Working with the breath, maybe lifting and extending on the inhale, using that exhale to go down a little bit lower. Imagine like you're pulling your hip bones up and forward. Now let's just totally fold in. So bending the knees, dropping the head, rounding the spine. We'll just totally release. I like to call this a ragdoll pose, so we're just gonna totally let go. And just allow ourselves to open the back of the body. So imagining the energy in the back of the body just opening and expanding out now. Let the knees bend, let the spine round, let the head drop. 1 more deep breath here. Can you let go of something that no longer serves you? Straightening the legs, straightening the spine, shining the heart forward. Exhale, 1 more straight forward fold. We'll pull the elbows out with the legs straight, with the spine straight. Maybe we'll go down a little bit this time. Have a little bit more space there. And then when we're ready, releasing, inhale on up. We'll bring the hands to heart, bring it back to center. We'll do a counter pose when we're back bend. So bring our hands to our mat, fingertips face us. We can bring the feet to the mat, or if you want a harder version, we can keep our legs straight. I'm gonna keep my knees bent for the example. We're gonna start to shift our hips up. So again, we can keep our legs straight if you want a little bit harder, or bent. We can keep our head lifted, or if it's okay for our neck, maybe dropping the head back. When we're ready, gently coming on down. And we'll come back to our backs. So if you want to have a little fun there, drawing the knees to chest, we can do some rock and rolls on the spine, if that feels good. Maybe letting the feet come overhead. And the plow, if that's available to you, if that feels good to you. And perhaps finding our shoulder stand if you'd like. Bringing the hands behind us, rolling the shoulder blades in. Finding that foundation, chest to chin, chin to chest. This is stimulating the thyroid. Nice, I like how you guys are squeezing the legs together. Maybe even finding those point through the toes, flexing through the balls of the feet, those Barbie feet. Yeah. Beautiful, guys. When we're ready, take your time, come on down. And we'll come into our final poses here on our backs. So make your way very slowly. When we're done meeting on our back for our final twists, we'll bring our right knee in first. So drawing our right knee in, we'll give it a squeeze like an old friend. Hello. Hello, friends. We'll start with that right foot. We'll just let it go. We'll do a couple ankle rolls in that right foot and just let go of all that energy there. Maybe just letting our foot know, hey, you can relax now, thanks. Into that right hip a few times, rocking in and out. Connecting with that right side. And just noticing what's there. When we're ready for our twist, we'll drop that knee all the way over to the left, hands into cactus or T. We'll look over to the right. So there's a full spinal twist from the cranium to the sacrum. Beautiful. And we're using our breath. So every exhale, we're letting that twist go a little bit deeper, letting that right shoulder come going down towards the floor a little bit more. 2 more deep breaths on this side. Inhale, all the way up to that right shoulder. Exhale, let that right hip drop down and away from the body. 1 more deep breath. Using that exhale, just let it soften, let it go. Let it integrate. And then on the inhale, bringing that knee back to center, we'll give it 1 more big squeeze. Thank you. And then we'll let it straighten out on the floor. And we'll shake it out, let it go. For the other side, when we're ready, left leg draws in. Hello, friends. So we're talking first, that left foot, we'll just let all that energy go in the foot and ankle. Into that hip, side to side, letting the knee come in and away. And then when we're ready for that twist, we can drop all the way over, dropping that knee out to the right, hands in a cactus or T. And we're just finding ease. We're letting the breath explore the body. And just notice where it goes, where the breath travels in the body. We'll let the breath come all the way up to that left shoulder. Inhale. Letting that left hip drop away from the body. Exhale. Opening up that side. One more deep breath. Up that left side. Exhale to twist and release a little bit deeper. Softening the heart, the face, the jaw. And then on the inhale, coming back to center. We'll give it one more big squeeze. Let's actually bring both the knees in. We'll give them both a big squeeze, and we'll come into a happy baby. Just grabbing either behind the legs, ankles, outside edges of the feet. We'll draw the knees down towards the floor, rocking side to side, maybe straightening one leg and then the other. Giving ourselves the same love and attention that we would a baby. So same care to ourselves, same compassion. And then, when we're ready, straightening the legs out on the floor. If there's any other final poses calling us, we can go to them now. Or finding that final rest, Shavasana, corpse pose. Turn the palms up to receive. We'll bring a healing light around our feet. So imagine a bright white light glowing at the bottom of the feet. And we'll let that light travel to the toes, to the tops of the feet, to the ankles, weaving in through the shins, the calves, into the knees. So our total lower body is covered in love and light. Our total foundation, drawing that love and light into the front of the legs, the back of the legs, all the way up into the hip flexors. We'll just let the legs totally relax now. Bringing softness into our lower belly. We'll let the breath become light, seeking the source. And we'll let that light climb up into the center of our belly, our solar plexus. We'll imagine a bright, glowing sun there, shining. All the way up into our hearts. We'll feel our heart opening, maybe letting the shoulders tuck into the back. Into the throat and shoulders. We'll let the shoulders relax. The arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists. And hands are now surrounded by love and light. Bringing our awareness into our jaw, we'll create a small gap in the lips, releasing the jaw. All the way up into the third eye. We'll let the space open between the eyes and release. All the way up to the crown of the head. An energy funnel opens to receive divine energy from the universe. Our energy can spill out and sink down, deeper down into the earth. Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Gradually start to deepen the breath. Slowly coming back, we'll wiggle the fingers and toes. When we're ready, you can do a big stretch overhead, waking up the body. Oh yeah. And then when we're done, we'll bring one knee at a time to the chest. We'll give ourselves a big squeeze, bringing the forehead to the knees, big love, big hug. And then when we're ready, we can rock and roll over to one side. We can stay there for a moment if we'd like, on our side. Just feeling the connection with ourselves, with the earth, and with each other. And we'll keep that connection with us when we're ready. Using that top hand to press ourselves up, we'll keep that same sweetness, easiness. Let's actually find our bound angle pose to seal our practice today. So bringing our feet together, knees wide, hands to heart. We'll bow down with gratitude. So taking a moment to feel gratitude. What are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? Knowing that gratitude is the highest form of yoga. It is the attitude, raising our vibration to love and grace. So taking a moment here to feel grateful for ourselves, for taking time for ourselves, knowing that as we create space within, we create space for others. And as we heal ourselves, we heal the world. So once more, bowing down, head to heart, bowing to our inner guru, our higher self. The love and light in me acknowledges and honors the love and light in you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.